Hello, hello. Hashtag not sponsored. So I decided that I probably won't be able to sleep tonight, so I'm gonna just fold some more origami. We've actually gotten quite a lot done, and we're gonna see how long it'll take me to get through 32. The problem for most of you that I'm not gonna cut this, and I'm gonna probably talk about something and never get to really the answer until the end, which you'd have to watch through the entire thing. And if you do, good for you. Good for you. If you don't, good for you. Don't sit through this entire thing unless you have nothing better to do. Which, I mean, there are 100 other YouTube videos out there that you could probably be watching that are much more educational and productive than this. So why am I doing a vlog today? Because today has been a very long day and a lot of things have happened. Not like right here, because nothing ever happens in this condo, but just you know, in general, in life, just unexpected things, somewhat expected things, exciting things, disappointing things, just life in general. It's not really specific to anything, but well, let's talk about something simple, something not too crazy. See, whenever I want to start a story, I feel like you need some kind of context. And the thing I'm talking about is happening tomorrow, but I'm trying to rewind how much context I need to give you. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I took a tattooing class earlier last year, and it was at Fat Buddha, which is inside P Mall. And yes, I'm aspiring to be a tattoo artist, though lately I haven't been able to practice because I ran out of tubes and they only sell them in Toronto, and I've been kind of lazy to go back. So I'm going back tomorrow to get it, so you know, no worries about that, so I can get back to practicing. Yeah. So they're having a special on Friday the 13th. It's not sponsored. They're having a special Friday the 13th for this entire year, which only happens twice this year, which is tomorrow. Today is January 12th. I was gonna say first. On Thursday. Well, I mean, in about an hour will be the 13th. But basically, they're having a special where you can go in, you can walk in and just get a small tattoo like this big for not for free, for like $20. It's pretty cheap, and you can get anything done like right away. It'll take like half an hour at most if it's gonna be that small, unless it's really, really heavy in detail, or if you want color, but then that's additional cost, which I don't mind. I want a color tattoo. Like, I have this one, I have one on my shoulder, I have one on my chest, and I want a tattoo that's colored, and I don't know what to get, so we're going to talk about tattoos, and why people get tattoos, and okay, like, anytime I speak any of these vlogs, it's purely based on my perspective and how I've seen and understood things. No way is it true. Like, there's no sound science backing up any of this, and it's just like me thinking out loud. I mean, anytime I talk to myself, it's me thinking out loud. So if you ever see me talking to myself, no, I'm not crazy. I'm just thinking. And like, I mean, I can go into this whole thing about how thinking in my head is a lot harder than thinking out loud, because like there's all these random thoughts that pop. It's like having ADD. I might have it. I just haven't checked. I'm not in school, so it doesn't really bother me. It actually helps time pass by. Anyways, we're gonna go back to the tattoo before I digress too far. And so, why I got my tattoos? Let's talk about that, because for a lot of people don't really know. I've given a lot of people different reasons why I got my tattoos, and sometimes it's true. Sometimes I just say it because it's easier or less explaining. So let's look at this one first. This one webcam. I don't know if it's mirrored, so I don't know if you can read it. The refreshing taste of Sprite. # not sponsored. Okay, so this one says in nice. I forgot what kind of font it was, but it's like a nice cursive font, all lowercase, and it just simply says insanity. Why would anybody get that tattooed on them? The word insanity. Simply because when I got this tattoo, I thought I was insane. I mean, aren't we all? I mean, debatable. But basically, the reason why I got insanity as a tattoo, I don't know why I think it's so loud. It's like already very low, but hey, we should eat pizza. Everybody dance except me. Those are really interesting song. Hey, I finished one. It took 6 minutes to finish that. Okay, we gotta speed it up. Alright, why I got the tattoo insanity. Basically, I've been obsessed with insanity. Not actually being insane, because I like to have control of my mind, but the fact that it's unpredictable and that it's crazy and that nothing can control you, in a sense, you know, like how no one can understand you because you're insane, and like no one's ever gonna know what you're gonna do, because how could they predict a person who doesn't even know what they're gonna do? And that's why my favorite comic book character is Deadpool and the Joker. Basically, quite literally the two most insane characters in both their respective universes. Deadpool breaks the fourth wall and has like two voices talking to him, and the Joker is just the Joker. And yeah. Planning to get a tattoo of the Joker, something resembling him somehow, somewhere, sometime. But I also have a Deadpool wallet, and like if I had my keys, I had a Joker Lego keychain, even though his face is like scraped off. But yeah, insanity was something that I obsessed with for a while. Anytime you see I read an anime or see a movie or anything, I always enjoy watching the more insane characters. If you saw Re:Zero, then it's last year's spring anime. There's this guy named Betelgeuse Roman Conti. He's crazy, you know. Just crazy people, but they're also smart, but they're just crazy at the same time. And yeah, those are the characters that I aspire to be. Not a good thing for girls to know that I'm not actually crazy. Please, I'm not actually that crazy. But I've done a lot of crazy things that just don't make sense to me, and it makes me feel like I'm insane. Even I have enough sense to know that I'm not actually insane. But sometimes the choices that I make just make me feel like that's who I am. And at some point I just accepted that, and that's just why I tattooed it. Like, anytime I don't know, I keep saying in a general sense, like, it's all about me, because I'm self-centered. Like, at any time when I would, let's say for instance, have a crush on a girl I know I never have a chance with, and then still like her for no reason. It's like stupid things that you would do, right? It's like a waste of effort. Like, why would you waste your time with this? It's like being upset over something you can't even have. It's like, it doesn't make sense. And I just did that a lot, and when I was younger. I mean, I'm not that old, but I mean, when I was younger still. Just did a lot of things that didn't make sense to me now, and I always felt like something was wrong with me, you know. I was always paranoid that everyone knew something I didn't. It's like I was missing out on something. Like somehow everyone saw the truth and I just couldn't see it, and that's why I'm perpetually unhappy. Like maybe everyone has the ability to read each other's minds and I just can't, and everyone knows what I'm thinking but I don't know what they're thinking. They're all thinking I'm like completely crazy, but that actually kind of makes me crazy to think that. But obviously, I mean, that's not true. Or something like, if you ever seen The Truman Show, starring Jim Carrey, basically he gets abducted as a kid and he wakes up, or I mean not abducted, he was basically born into a TV show, and his entire life is a TV show, and everyone is an actor who plays a part, and like he's secluded on an island that he has this fear of water, so he can never leave, and like it's a pretty interesting movie. You should go watch it if you have the time. It's like what would happen if you were literally the center of the universe. I mean, for the TV show at least, and everyone was watching everything that you do. It's kind of creepy, but interesting concept. And it's Jim Carrey. Is it Jim Carrey? Pretty sure it's Jim Carrey. I would Google it right now, but I need to finish these. Where was I going with this? Oh, my tattoos. Yes. So that's. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of paranoid sometimes, but I mean, I know better than that, and you know, it's just a thought that passes my mind occasionally. But yeah, the insanity. At the same time, I want to stick out. I don't want to be like everyone else. It's kind of boring to just be like everyone else. You know, everyone is super, no one is. It's just, there's just so much more you could do if you were different, right? It just means so much. Like, come on. And you see, if you watch, okay, I'm going to be referencing anime and manga a lot because I watch that a lot more than I do Western television. So for those who never understand these references, sorry. You should really start watching anime. What can I say? But like anytime you see, it's like that main character always has like colored hair. Everyone else has normal colored hair. And it's just like, I wonder who the main character is. The person with big spiky purple hair or the normal Asian kid with like bowl cut and black hair. It's the bowl cut and black hair. Mob Psycho 100. Bad joke is bad. It's not even a joke. Anyways, yeah, I want to just stand out and, you know, be different. Everyone does. Everyone wants to be. I mean, there are some people who just want to be normal, and other people who want to be on top, and other people. And I've realized that I don't have the motivation to be on top, so I'll just be different. So I'll just drop out of school. Oh, I didn't. Okay, no, I did drop out. Dropped out of college, and pursued a dream of tattooing, which is something I enjoy doing. I mean, well, so far, from my current experience. Haven't tattooed yet, but like this is a life that's very different from a lot of my other friends. Everyone else has gone to school, like you, post-secondary, and you know, here I am, living with my best friend, doing minimum wage jobs to pay for rent. Sometimes it's kind of sad. It's like, I kind of wish I went back to school. I'd have a lot more friends. But yeah, this is where my life choices left me and led me to, and this is how I choose to be different. I choose to fold 1,000 cranes for somebody who doesn't care, and I choose to vlog about it while I do it. Ha ha ha! Oh, Mickey Mouse. Yeah. Life's just weird. So, I mean, I was kind of lost in thought, but at the same time I was trying to figure out if I had anything else to say about that tattoo. No, not really. Alright, so we're gonna move on to the next tattoo. This one. I can't show it properly. I mean, I can show like, nope, that lighting just says no. All right. So that one says Romans 5:8, and shall I recite it for you for those who are not readers of the Bible? Yes, it is a Bible verse for those who don't know. For those who do, if you know Romans 5:8, then that means you probably still go to church. I do not. I actually haven't been to church in over a year, so it's a little stupid for me to have a tattoo of a Bible verse even though I don't go to church anymore, and it's like, but it still has meaning to me, and man, I really messed this up. It still has meaning to me, and I mean, that's just, you know, the thing. Alright, so sorry. Alright, so what it means to me. What does Romans 5:8? So Romans 5:8, for those who don't know what it is, it says, God shows his love in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Okay, none of you heard me say dinner. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Basically saying that God didn't love us because we were perfect. He loved us because we weren't perfect, or he still chose to love us while we weren't perfect, if I'm interpreting that correctly, or that was my interpretation of that verse. And even though I'm agnostic or atheist, or I don't know where I stand in the religious column right now, just that I don't believe in anything in particular. It means to me that it doesn't matter how screwed up you are, that let me just turn that off. It doesn't matter how screwed up you are. That means someone still can love you. You know, you're never too far gone. Of course, unless you've murdered like 1 million people, then maybe you're Beyonce. I'm kidding. But yeah, that's kind of a reassurance for me that even though I'm insane, a lot of the times that I'm still worth something to someone at the end of the day, and most likely my parents. No one else. No, I don't know. But that's basically what that meant to me, or why I got it. It was for reassurance that even though I believe myself, what is this? Close that. Yeah, even though I believe that myself is too far gone sometimes, that I'm never too far gone. You know, I'm never out of reach from the people that love me. You know, so you know, kind of keeps me not so pessimistic all the time, even though it doesn't work a lot of the times. And yeah. So we're down to our final 2 tattoos. Both of which are gonna be pretty hard to show you. So this one, for those who can read Chinese, that means love. Yes, I got the Chinese character for love tattooed over my heart. This is mirrored, by the way, so my heart's on this side. Yes, I got. Unless it isn't mirrored when the video saves, I don't know. If it is mirrored, then yes, this is my heart. Like, yeah. It's cheesy, very very cheesy. I got this in grade 12. So in 2013, I think, yeah. I spent $120 and at Fat Buddha as well. My very first tattoo with Marvin. He's a nice guy. Follow him on Instagram. # not sponsored. I got the tattoo on my chest for several reasons. First reason, I thought the chest wouldn't hurt that much, and it was true. It actually didn't hurt as much as my other tattoos hurt. The ones here hurt the most. Second reason, I didn't want my parents finding out that I got a tattoo. So you know, if I have a shirt on, then they can never see this. But they end up finding out anyways somehow, and they weren't too happy about it. And number 3, possibly it was probably at the time a reminder for me that I still had love in my heart, cause I was going through some tough stuff. I mean, to explain the other tattoo, we might have to go through my love life. And for those who don't know it, it's a little messed up. And for those who don't know me that well, or those who kind of know me, here's the time to skip this part of the video if you don't want to think any less of me, cause it alright, so this turned from tattoo talk into love life talk, so might as well get into it, because I mean, you might as well start somewhere, right? 4 done in 20 minutes, 5 minutes each. So it's take less time. Okay, so let's start from the very beginning. Okay, I'm gonna avoid all the talks about people I had crushes on, because it was high school and it didn't really matter. But while it's still in high school, I had my very first relationship, and my very, very first relationship. So let's not put any names out there, so let's just make up names for all of them. So in grade 12, a month before grade 12 started, so August of 2012, I met this girl named Christina. Sure. Christina wasn't even on that sheet, but sure. I met this girl named Christina, and at a summer camp that we both volunteered at. And then she liked me and I liked her, so we exchanged numbers when the camp ended, and then we started dating because I asked her out after like the second day, and she said yes, so we started dating. And then fast forward about this could be a long before she. Alright, if you want me to go into detail, then there's a lot of things that happened. But basically, so we met at my church summer camp while I still went to church, and I played a big part in the summer camps usually because all the kids loved me. I was like the highlight of their week. Kind of, not really. But basically, she was invited by one of her friends that went to my church as well, but she herself did not go to church, so she was not of Christian faith, and which didn't really matter to me at the time because I really liked her and she really liked me, and I thought we were pretty cute together. But then after a while, I decided that I would, because I kept it from all my families. Well, just my friends at church and my friends, like family friends, like Henry, my cousin, and because like you're not Christian and you're not supposed to be in a relationship with someone that's not Christian, because it's kind of not good, because they always say that you're gonna, at the end of the day, you're gonna have to pick between either your spouse or God or whatever, and you're supposed to pick God because that's where your faith is supposed to be. This is a really general, like, it's not really a rule. Don't think badly of Christians because they have such rule. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but basically, yeah, I wasn't really supposed to date her, and like, she was over at my house a few times, and my parents kind of liked her, but they also knew that she wasn't Christian, and so it was like, it was kind of weird. But basically, what happened was in February, right around her birthday, February 9th, if I remember correctly. It was like 4 years ago. I don't know why I still remember her birthday. But basically, I was on the worship team, so basically I played in that band that plays on the stage every Sunday morning. And, you know, if you're doing something like that, then you're probably like a really, really hardcore Christian. No, not hardcore, but like someone, you know, pretty like in there if you want to get involved into church things. And they had standards, and I decided that, you know what, Henry's my best friend. I'm gonna tell him that I've been dating this girl, because he's kind of friends with her too, because he also went to that camp. So I'm gonna tell him that we've been dating for, you know, like 5 months. You know, I want him to know about the relationship, you know, because he's my friend. So I tell him, and the next day he goes and we're having dinner with the head of the, I don't know why I did quotations, I guess quotations, the leader of our worship group. And it's just me, him, and Henry. And then Henry's like, hey, bro, I think you should tell so-and-so about Christina. And I'm like, oh, thanks, man. Thanks for throwing me under the bus. So I told him, because I mean, it's not like I could have just said, oh, what are you talking about, Henry? So I had to tell him, and he's like, okay, this is a really serious issue, you know, if you want to, like, you know, make your faith better or whatever, then you can't be, like, hindered by such things, you know, you shouldn't be dating non-Christian girls, that's not even a good thing. So he gave me, basically, ultimatum. That was either stay with this girl, but you have to leave the worship team. Or you can break up with this girl and stay on the worship team. So I'm like, I'm really torn, because I really like to play music, and I really enjoyed the people there, and I really like being part of that team, and I've been with that team for much longer than I've known that girl. But I was also convinced that I was in love with her. And she was a really sweet girl, you know, like, I didn't want to break her heart. And so I'm like, you know what? You know, my entire family is Christian. Like, I think the right thing to do would be to just break up. But, like, not like, you know, we can't ever be together. It's like, because she tried attending church a few times, and she would come for, like, a few weeks. But sometimes her parents wouldn't let her go. But whenever she could, she would try and come on Sundays and Fridays, and it was great. Like, it seemed like she was trying. Like, she honestly wanted to try and be a Christian for me, which was like, wow, you're amazing. You're a really good person. Like, why would you do that for me? So I'm like, fine. And then, cue one of the worst breakups I've ever had. She came over. She already knew. Like, I already talked to her about it, but she wanted to see me one last time. I wanted to see her one last time. She came over, and her favorite donut was chocolate glazed donuts from Tim Hortons. And I bought them for her because I remembered, and she so we kind of talked. Oh my goodness. And since I was grade 12, she was a few years younger than me. Like, I was having prom that year, and I was gonna invite her to my prom, and then we could dance, you know, whatever couples do at prom. But then since we were breaking up, we knew that wouldn't be able to happen. So we played. For some reason, my parents were out doing something, and my sister was out too, right? So it's just the two of us. So, you know, I put on some music, and we kind of like slow danced in my living room, and it was just like a random playlist, and it wasn't really like anything. But then the next song was "I Won't Give Up" by Jason Mraz. And she just started crying so much, and we were still like kind of like slow dancing. We just kind of stood there, and she was crying so hard, and it was so heartbreaking because I'm like I didn't want to do it. Like I wanted to be with her, and I didn't know why these rules were so stupid. Okay. So we break up, and she tells me that since like we were talking the entire time she didn't eat the donuts, on her way home, she was eating the donuts and sobbing the entire time, and I just felt so bad. Like I think that was probably one of the last times I ever cried. Probably. Oh wait, no, there are other times. But like it was by far one of the most heartbreaking things that I ever heard. Like someone crying about like that. It was really sad. So yeah. And guess what? Guess what happened with that worship team thing? They decided that I wasn't in the right place to stay on it, so they asked me to leave temporarily, and I never got back on. So I broke up, and I didn't stay, and I couldn't stay on the team, which was kind of stupid. Kind of really stupid. I mean, like, wow, thanks for making this decision for me, basically telling me I couldn't have either things. So, but then, my sister was kind of close to, not, my sister basically did this thing where she's like, hey, you know, when she found out like a month earlier that me and her were dating, so she was trying to do that big sister thing where she like try and talk to that girl and try to like, you know, be friends with her so she'd feel more comfortable. And it was like, it was kind of okay. They're friends. I mean, my sister's older and a lot older than her. Not that much older, but like there was a big age gap. And they're kind of friends, and they were talking, and basically she was basically crying to my sister because like she didn't know why she wasn't really sure why this had to happen, even though she knew, but she didn't understand why it had to happen, you know, like. And so my sister thought that it would be a good idea that maybe we could secretly get back together, but we'd really have to focus on being, you know, more Christian, if that makes sense, because that was the biggest issue. And yeah, so we ended up getting back together like a week later. So I mean, kind of stupid that we got back together a week later, but it was interesting. It was interesting. So we were together for about 2 more months before stupider things happened. Basically, it was Easter, and then during Easter there's a kind of a bigger joint sermon service thing where the Chinese side and the English side, it sounds really segregated, but it's not really, of the church have one not ceremony but session, Sunday morning, whatever people call it nowadays. Like it was all together, and then everyone would sing songs and whatever, and for some reason I was really moved by that, and I'm like, you know what, I want to focus on being a really good Christian. So I broke up with her again. This time no one told me to, but it just felt right, because it felt like the right thing to do. Like, I still liked her a lot, and I still wanted to be with her, but it felt like this just had to be done. So I did it. And this time, there was a gathering. I wouldn't say party, because if I say party, you guys might think there's drinking and whatnot, but no, it was like board games and hot pot and Asian people party, basically. And at a house near her house, because that person just happened to live near her. And I had to break up with her again at the party with tens of people just walking around, and people could kind of tell what was happening, and she was kind of crying too. But then, you know, obviously she didn't want to stay at the party because why would she? After I just broke up with her for the second time. So I walked her home, or walked her closer home, you know, because she didn't want her parents seeing me. And then on a street corner near her house, she just started sobbing again a lot. And I felt really, really bad. And it took everything in me to not say, you know what, fuck it, let's just stay together, you know? Like, I really wanted to be with her. Like, honestly, we didn't have that much in common, and we're somewhat different people, but we really, really liked each other, you know? Sometimes that's all it takes. I don't know what would happen if we had stayed together, and I never will, but, and I'll never get the chance to know. It's just things like that. But yeah, and then she broke down and she was crying and she's like sobbing a lot. Like my shoulder was dripping wet with how much she was crying. And then she finally walked home and I stood there until I could not see her anymore. Like until I couldn't see what house she went into, but just stood there and waited. And then as soon as she was gone, I started crying. Like I broke down and just started crying into I just sat there on that street corner crying my eyes out. Like it was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. Like even till today, it's by far one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. What the hell just moved? Is there a ghost in here? And like it was rough. It was really rough. And so that was my first breakup. And here's where it gets messy. So that happened in April because Easter. But before that, there's another March break camp. It's the same camp except it's held during March break. That's why it's called March break camp. Idiot. And she went to that as well because, you know, because I'd be there. That's why she went. Also because it gives volunteer hours, pretty good volunteer hours. So, I mean, why not? Also, it's very fun to do. Anyways, there was a girl there, same age as my girlfriend. Her name was... I know a lot of girls, so I don't want to say any of the names that I know. Like, I know Christina, but I don't really know, like, personally know anyone, so I don't think anyone would assume that it was her. I'm trying to think of girl names. I don't know, I can't think of girl names. Sunny, sure, Sunny. Her name was Sunny. I saw the Sony logo on something. Sunny! So there's this girl named Sunny, and she was actually the same age as my girlfriend, and apparently she had a crush on me, but I had no idea. No, I actually had an idea. But I'm like, you know, I'm dating, like, my girlfriend, so, like, it's not like I could do anything about it, you know? So, like, but she did want to be my friend, because she knew I was dating, so she's like, you know, we'll just be friends. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And so we're just talking and stuff, and I'm still talking to her, and then I break up with I was about to say that person's name, Christina quotations, and I break up after I broke up with her. I'm still talking to this other Sunny, and basically, when you're in a relationship, the best part for me about a relationship, or why I ever want to be in a relationship, is having someone there that's excited to talk to you and excited to listen to your life. You know, they're excited about your life. And someone that's always there for you at the end of every day. Like, you could have the shittiest day at work or school, and when you get home, you know that person's waiting for you. And Like that's more important to me than like any, like of course the other things are important too, but like that's what appeals to me most, you know, just having someone there who's just who wants to talk to you, because nowadays no one wants to ever talk about anything. It's all mundane jibber jabber. But alright, here's where it gets really complicated, so I'm gonna try and speed through things. So me and Sunny kind of kept talking, and I just missed having that person there because I didn't want to talk to Brenda, because I didn't want to kind of open up any like scars or wounds, and like I didn't want her to feel bad. But at the same time, like I really wanted to talk to her, but I knew that it wouldn't be a good idea. So I started talking to Sunny a lot more, and after a while, like Sunny seemed like she really cared. You know, she knew about the breakup, and she's like, oh, you know, are you okay? Like, you know, like she's. And basically, I started to develop feelings for Sunny, which made me feel like a terrible person, because like I literally just broke up with someone, but like I'm already like it is basically rebound. Like, you know, you just wanted someone there and you find the next closest thing. But like Sunny was actually quite a sweet girl, and she was really nice, and so we actually after a while we started hanging out, and basically from May until the end of summer we were kind of like an on and off thing. Like sometimes we would be together and sometimes we wouldn't. And then I realized that I had to do the right thing again, and I told her that we couldn't be together because I broke up with Brenda because she was in a fuck Christina. I broke up with Christina. What is her? Christina. I broke up with Christina. Sorry, slip of the tongue. I broke up with Christina because she wasn't a Christian, and Sunny wasn't a Christian either, so it made no sense at all for me to just start dating a girl that wasn't a Christian. So I'm like, you know, we can't be together. And it made me sad again, because I'm like, man, dang, all these people I want to be with, but I can't, because I because of my religion, because it's something that I wasn't born with it, but I was born into it. I felt like I didn't have a choice, because like I felt like if I didn't, my whole family would just have disown me. And I couldn't and it was just like, yeah, it was just kind of stressful. So I kind of was talking to Sunny's best friend at the time, because you know, she was her best friend, and she was like, you know, just want to make sure that I'm a good guy, so that if I do start dating Sunny, that it wouldn't be a, you know, like I wouldn't hurt her or anything, and turns out she might have liked me too. So after me and Sunny stopped talking, she was really there to, like, you know, hey, are you okay? Like, how, you know, always checking up on me. And then I had that feeling of loneliness and basically rebound to another girl, which was her best friend. You can tell by the lack of eye contact that I'm really ashamed of this. So yeah, don't worry, it gets worse. So for a few months, I'd be hanging out with, I need to give this person a name too. Rena, sure, Christina, Rena. I'm not very creative right now. It's like, it's not even that late, but basically, after a few months, I kind of liked her, but she told me, it's like, I don't think I'm ready to date. Maybe in a few years. And I'm like, you know what? I'm willing to wait a few years. I think I could do it. And suddenly she's like, you know what? No, I don't want you to wait. And I'm like, wait, why? And it's like, I still don't know the reason up until now. And she just decided to like, yeah, she just stopped talking to me. And I'm like, hey, what the heck? It's like, what was all the things that we talked about? Like, were you just lying to me this entire time? Were you just using me to buy you taro slushes? Like, what the hell? And basically, she just stopped talking to me. And lo and behold, I'm gonna wait 3 years. She started dating someone like a month later. Ha ha ha. Girls. Okay, not all girls are bad. Just certain ones. Or most of them. I'm kidding. But yeah. So, this is where, it was like kind of like this, and then it got worse. This is where it just goes straight down. So, Rena had a twin sister named... I can't think of any names. Sarah. No, I know a Sarah. I actually don't know Sarah that well. Named Sheila. Sure, Sheila. So Rena had a twin sister named Sheila. And guess what Sheila did? She started yelling at me. She would message me and she'd go like, hey, stay away from my sister. Like, what the hell are you doing? Yeah, blah, 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 blah. And I met Sheila before because she also helped out at that camp. And she was just like being all mean and stuff. And then suddenly, she was like, oh wait, you're not the bad guy here. Oh shoot. And then she started trying to comfort me. And we all know how that song and dance goes. But lucky for me, she was actually a Christian. So we started talking, and we talked a lot. We were just talking about our past relationships and how much they sucked. We started connecting. Actually, no, my relationship didn't suck. Just breaking up sucked. But we were just talking about how we're sad and how life kind of sucks. And then so I kind of started just like, we started liking each other, and then I finally asked her out over Skype. So romantic. And she said yes. And then we dated for almost a year. And then I broke up with her. So I went from my first girlfriend to this girl, to her best friend, to her twin sister. To be fair, I only dated Christina and Sheila. I didn't officially date the other two, and I was only actually... I was really close with Sunny, but I didn't officially date her, so so yeah, that's... So you're wondering why I told you that half an hour long story about my love life. Because, casual strip, it's only because I can't really roll up my sleeves. I have this tattoo, 21-4, that is in Roman numerals for those who can't read Roman numerals. It's 21-4, which is another Bible verse, which I do not know. I don't know this Bible verse at all. But between me and Sheila, it was her favorite Bible verse. I don't know if it's her favorite Bible verse, but it meant a lot to her. And it was something that she went to whenever she needed help, or she just needed someone. So we decided that, 21-4 is what we would say to each other whenever we just really needed someone when it was like really important. And so our relationship was kind of rocky. We were both insecure people. At that point, I dropped out of college because I didn't like the people that was in the program with me, and I wasn't really sure that was what I wanted to do anyways. So I dropped out and I started working, and a lot of the times, Sheila was insecure about stuff that happened at school, and when my shifts would go until 7 p.m. and sometimes she would try calling me or like messaging me during work, and I couldn't pick up, and I couldn't answer the phone, and I couldn't message her. I couldn't even tell her that, hey, I'm here for you. And like it just stressed me out so much that I'm like, she needed me but I couldn't be there for her. And I was just like so distraught from like, I ended up quitting that job for that reason, and because the person that I work with sometimes was a total jerk. But like I just couldn't handle like not being there for her, and I felt really guilty. And at the same time I felt like I shouldn't be guilty because I'm at work, I'm trying to make money to pay for like stuff that we do. I was living at home, so it wasn't like that bad. I wasn't like missing rent or anything for it. But like it was just like dude, like I can't just leave work. Like I'm the only one there, and I have to stay until the end of my shift. So it just stressed me out so much, and I'm like, you know what, I can't do this. I have to find another job that, I can work in the morning and then get off before school ends so that I could be there for her. And we had a pretty rocky relationship. We had a lot of ups, but we had a lot of downs too, and I just, like at some point I couldn't take it anymore. Like it was really unsure for me. Like I didn't know if I could handle this for the rest of my life. Like we would basically argue like once a week, and at sometimes it was like once every time we hung out, which was more frequent than it should have been. And it was just like not good, not healthy, and so we broke up. And then I realized that in any time I start dating a girl, I devote all my time to her. Like I will literally sit down and wait for her to be free to talk to me, and I would call her, and then we, chat about nothing for like 3 hours, and then, okay, good night, haha, I love you, sweet dreams, cheesy ass shit. And then like anytime my friends wanted to hang out, I was like, no, I'm just gonna stay home and do my own thing, which was just talk to her. And I had no life. When I broke up with her, I'm like, hey guys, I'm like, wait, no one's here. Shit. Oh, I just had no, it's not like my friends abandoned me, it's that I abandoned them so much that they didn't bother asking me to hang out anymore because they knew I'd say no. And I was just like, oh crap, like that's terrible, because I'm like, wow, I mean, great, I see. So I was lonely and really lonely, and then so I'm like, I wanted to talk to her, but at the same time I'm like, I probably shouldn't. So that's when I got the tattoo. I'm like 21-4. It means that I need someone. And it was also like, okay, so I went into my first relationship with that whole like chivalrous bear, I don't know why I said bear, chivalrous, like basically I thought that was the only relationship I was gonna ever have. I'm not the type of guy to go around and date, just go on a fling, just go date a girl for a few weeks, like, oh sorry, it's not working out, It's like I'll go on dates with people to kind of see, but like I'll never ask anyone out unless I'm sure that I really want to commit my life to this person. And the fact that I've dated now 5, 4, 4, 4. Wait. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Yeah. 4 different girls. Like, I don't know why I have this mindset that I never want any of them to feel like they didn't mean anything to me. Like our relationship, like the time that we had together didn't matter, because it did. Like, I poured my heart out into every single relationship that I ever had. Sometimes a bit too much, I'll admit. Sometimes more than I should have, because that left me with nothing. And honestly, no one gives that much at the start of any relationship. So like, no one could ever match me. So they kind of just like couldn't live up to my standards. It's like, why aren't you calling me at 4 a.m. to make sure I'm okay? Huh? Yeah. So it's like, I didn't want Sheila to think that she didn't matter to me. Like, if I ever got, like, I probably would have been into another relationship at some point, right? I didn't want her to think that our relationship had no meaning to me, because it did. It meant a lot to me. Like I really wish that we could have worked things out, but it was my fault. I was a coward, and I couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't put up with it, and I ran out of patience. I don't know, like, I know none of you have been there, but like part of my relationship, none of you have seen my relationship, so I don't know if you could tell that it was like either my fault or her, but I'm not pointing fingers. But like, I'm sorry that we couldn't have worked it out. And I didn't want her to think that she didn't mean anything to me. So that's another reason I got this tattoo. Because it's basically the equivalent of getting your ex's name tattooed on you, except it's not as bad, because it's actually not her name, and you can make up some bullshit reason about what it actually means. But it was really just to kind of remember her, like to say that the year that we spent together and all the things that I said that I meant, and that like I wasn't just trying to waste her time. And I tried my best to work things out, and like it just didn't. And yeah, that explains all my tattoos. I actually got this one with Sheila. Like, she was there when I got it. This was before we started dating. And she was there with me when I got my first tattoo. And then she wanted to be with me while I got these ones, but then at some point we got into the fight, and I got so mad at her. I'm like, fuck you. I'm gonna get tattoos without you. And then I got tattoos. I just... Something fell. The hell? Okay, but yeah, and then I just got tattoos, and it was just like kind of funny. And then she was kind of mad at me that I got tattoos without her. Like, she wasn't gonna get any, but she just wanted to be there when I got it. So yeah, that was half my love life. Since I'm done talking about tattoos, I mean, my tattoos, I might as well just keep going with my love life, because I still got a huge pile to go. So for those who are still here, take a sip of some delicious Sprite, take a break. Hashtag not sponsored. So we're just gonna skip through the part between that relationship and the next relationship, because like, yada yada yada, I tried to jump off a bridge, yada yada yada, it didn't work out, clearly. And then so what? I'm alive. Okay, so I start working at Starbucks, and so I'm making income. All my friends are in school still, and I'm just bored with nothing to do because my computer sucks, so I can't really play video games that well, and I can't play video games that well either. So many of you have probably heard of the fantastic app called Tinder. that's used for hookups and one night stands. So I'm like, I'm not the kind of guy to do that, but I don't exactly meet young, attractive girls at Starbucks because they're mostly older Caucasian. Not that I have anything with against Caucasian people, or just like it's just not my preference, you know. And there's just like a lot of like old people that come in to sit down and read a book because my Starbucks was 5 chapters, and basically I didn't really meet any cute girls. There was this one cute girl. Shoot, what was her name? She came in like every day, but she was a lot older than me because she worked at like some business company, and pretty sure she was not 20 at that time or 19 at that time. But basically yeah, I got Tinder, and when you know what, a lot of people there are using it for the same reason I am, to look for people, to meet new people, because that's what everyone says, but everyone's actually trying to find the one, because or they're there for like a confidence boost, because like, this person matched with me, that means they liked me, that means I'm attractive, I win. Yeah, no one's actually there to just meet people. They're there to meet people when they match with someone, but they don't find them that attractive. Everyone's just trying to find the one, you know, on hookup site. I don't know why, but I actually got to meet a lot of interesting people there. And if you remember from my last vlog, I was talking about how I have some friends that I'm still friends with, and I met one of them on that, and we're still friends now. And she actually watched my last blog, and she was so excited that she got a shout out as a Tinder friend. So this is your second shout out, you know. And I'm not speeding this up to 6 times for you to listen to it. I'm not putting out that work. But yeah, so like during that time I would just like, you know, match with people, talk with them online, and say, hey, do you want to meet up sometime? And it's like, sure. And then we go out, we go get some bubble tea, we talk for like an hour or two, and then we'd go back to our respective homes, and then depending on whether or not I thought they were interesting, I would either never talk to them again or we'd keep talking. So seeing as how I only have 3 friends now that I've met off Tinder, I usually just ended up... Sometimes it was the other way around. Sometimes they didn't find me that attractive, and they would just completely just go, like, you know, radio silent on me and never talk to me again. Yeah, it's fine, you know. Hurt my pride a little. I don't really think I'm that good looking anyway, so I mean, like, why would you match with me in the first place? But yeah, so... Oh, I actually have 4 friends from Tinder. I actually did not know. I just forgot one of them. Sorry. Yeah. So after that, I'm like, you know what? I actually want to try and date someone again. It's been about 8 months since I last dated someone, which is apparently a long time for me, because it just went like a full like 2.5 years just nonstop with at least someone by my side, which is very bad. Don't date. It's bad for your health. Take a break. Like, I'm kidding. I don't know. Do what you want with your life. So I started using an actual dating app. I think it was OkCupid, where you can actually build a profile and stuff, and then, you know, at least you're not just swiping through like pictures. You're actually looking through stuff, and there were a lot of cute girls in Ottawa. Not that many in Scarborough or Markham, but there was this one girl named, I'm just gonna say her name. We dated for like a month, so it doesn't really matter. Her name was Shirley, and I mean, not like it didn't matter, but like it was a month, and And she lived in North York and whatever, and basically we hung out a few times. I went to Wonderland with her. The reason why I liked her so much was the first date we went on. We went and got sushi. We went to an escape room. Then we went to the beach afterwards, night, and just like sat and talked. And it just felt like the perfect first date. Like nothing went wrong. Like we were talking, we were laughing, and it's like it was like not awkward at all. And like it just felt like wow, like this went so well. This is like Hollywood worthy stuff, you know, like it was like it felt like it was so cute if it was on camera. I don't know why I said that, but like it just felt like wow, this is like nice and stuff. But then I realized that she's very extroverted, very likes to party, and very likes to just go out and drink and stuff. And I am the complete opposite of that. And during the summer when we had time to see each other, it was okay. But then we started dating mid-August, so by the time September rolled around, she took a year off to work, so it was actually her first year. And she basically, you know, went to Frosh, you know, parties and stuff, and just doing all this drinking and partying. And I was kind of the insecure type, like, hey, you shouldn't do that just in case, you know, don't drink too much, you know, don't party out too late. I was basically being a parent. And yeah, so that didn't work out. We broke up on my birthday. Remembered it like it was yesterday. We broke up on my birthday. It was kind of sad. But it was good. You know, it's the only relationship that I actually got closure with, because we went out to the park that we first met up at. Like before we went out to do all that stuff, we went out to Downsview Park, and we just walked around. And this time we just walked around and talked about it. And, you know, I felt sad, but I'm like, you know, it was kind of, we understood that we didn't really match each other. And it was the first relationship where she broke up with me. Like, the girl broke up with me. I wasn't a heartbreaker anymore. I was getting my heart broken, even though my heart broke after every relationship. So, I go back to Tinder, whatever, just start talking to people again. And I'm kind of jaded. I'm just like, you know, whatever, you know. I'm an introverted person. If you've seen me, I mean, in groups of people that I'm used to, I seem like I have a lot of energy. I'm always laughing, always making jokes. But, like, I like getting to know new people, but it's also very scary for me. And sometimes I prefer hanging out one-on-one. Like, if we ever hang out in a group, I feel like I'll never get the chance to really get a good conversation with anyone. Also, everyone talks about sports or, like, the latest, like, Game of Thrones episodes, and I don't do either of those things. So it's really hard for me to, like, really talk with people about stuff. So, anyways, I just started talking to people again, and then I met online, of course, online. Well, it's weird because I matched up with my most recent ex. Think of a name. Think of a name. Because I feel like if she ever did watch this, she'd be mad if I didn't give her a good name. I don't know why I care. I'm just trying to think of a good name. I can't think of anything. Annie. Sure. We're gonna go with Annie. So, I actually matched up with Annie a while ago. We talked a few times. We just kind of had on and off conversations here and there. It wasn't really anything too like it didn't really stand out to me that much, but you know, it's just kind of fun to just chat. But she told me that she was teaching piano. She started teaching piano. I'm like, haha, hey, maybe you could teach me some lessons. Entirely sarcasm, but it was over text, so she couldn't tell. And she's like, okay, sure, you know, like, where do you live? Maybe I can come. Do you have a piano? Maybe I can come over and learn. It's like, oh, I'll teach you. I'm like, okay, I live here, and then you can come over when. So the thing was, during our earlier conversation, I actually told her that I've been playing piano for like 10 years. But apparently she forgot. So she actually came over. I'm like, oh, you're here. And she's like, it's like, yeah. It's like, I thought you want. For some reason, she told her dad that the lesson would take 2 hours, so her dad would come back in 3. And then she got here, and her dad left, and I'm like, oh, did your dad just leave? And she's like, yeah. I was like, oh, I know piano. You know, I have a piano. Why would I not have played it? You know? And then it was just like, oh, this is awkward. Like, she's just kind of at my house, and no one's home. You know what that means? Wink. No. So we actually just sat down in the living room and we started talking. And we just talked that entire 3 hours. And we actually got to know each other pretty well. And so, somehow, lucky for me, my parents were in Vietnam for a few weeks. And that was the last week that they were gone. She... Like... It's not a problem for her to come over to my house when my parents are there, but it just was a lot less explaining for me because, like, hey, who's this girl that comes over to our house? Like, yeah, this is a girl that was gonna teach me piano that I met online that, you know, like, it's just like, you know, still, I don't think my parents know where I met her because, like, they end up getting to know her. But I don't think they know where I met her. But basically, we started talking. She came over for, like, every day after that week. We actually started watching an anime together because bless they have anime on Netflix and I had anime in a 4K TV, so I mean Netflix and a 4K TV, so you know. And then we kind of started getting close. We started texting each other a lot. We started calling each other, and then we started dating. Yay! By far one of the most toxic relationships that I've ever been in. But at the same time, it was by far the most enjoyable relationship that I've ever been in. Like, every relationship prior to this, I've had 1 or 2 moments that have just been like, wow, this day was perfect. I need to remember this day. If anybody ever asked me what the favorite day that I've had in my life, this would be that day. You know, you always get those days sometimes, you know, if you're in a relationship or if you have been, like, you've had those days with that person. And, like, you get 1 or 2. If you're lucky, you get more. And with her, I had, like at least once a week. It was something amazing. Like, we were just, like, at some point, I was driving her home. And she didn't want to leave yet because she didn't want to miss me. So cheesy, cut myself. But we were like, whatever. So I parked the car kind of near her house, but not outside her house, so her parents wouldn't know. And then, like, my car had auxiliary cord, so we could play our own music. And then we were just playing like just whatever was on our iPhone, like music that we both like, My Chemical Romance, 21 Pilots, just like all the songs that we've been listening to. And then we just start singing it, and then we make stupid voices while we sing it, and we just singing it really, really loud, like actually like shouting in the car. And it's just like, it was so stupid, but it's like so happy, so just stupid happy. Like, there's no way to explain why it was, but it was just like, just one of the more amazing days of my life that didn't need to have a lot of money spent, or didn't need to have a lot of people there, or didn't need to have like the perfect things, like my favorite things there, like it was just me and her and just a few songs. It was just awesome. But at the same time, we went through some pretty tough shit. Sometimes it got really scary. I mean, like, you know, we were both been through a few relationships. I think we were both. I was her 4th boyfriend, and she was also my 4th, I think, if I remember correctly. I don't remember. She was my 4th. I don't know if I was her 4th, but yeah, it's just like we've been through a lot of things. Like a lot of things have happened to us. And we're not exactly the most mentally stable people because of those things. And like depression, can't say for sure, but it's just like a lot. It was really tough, and so the reason we broke up. There's actually a lot of reasons, because I told her a lot of reasons, and all the reasons were true, but at the same time, all the reasons shouldn't have mattered. As of right now, I am 21. I'm not in school. I've only just finished tattoo schooling last year, and I haven't even done my first tattoo yet. Like, first legitimate tattoo. And I don't know what I'm doing in the next year. I don't know where I'm going as soon as this lease ends. I can obviously move back home if I wanted to, but at the same time, I don't want to, because I want to be independent and stuff, and like, I don't want to have to rely on my parents, even though my dad is helping me pay some of my rent, because I don't work enough shifts to cover it. And like, I wanted to get my life moving, and this was before I moved here. And we hung out basically every day, basically every single day for like most of our relationship. And it was fine for us, but when I needed time to like, I was originally going to move downtown Toronto to, cause it's downtown, there's everything there. You can like find a job anywhere and it's gonna be in walking distance. And my roommate, or my best friend, he goes to Ryerson, which is, you know, right there too. So he could just walk to school instead of taking like an hour and a half commute, because like, you know, everyone loves hour and a half commutes. And I just felt like she wasn't being very supportive or encouraging. Like, I wanted to do something with my life, you know. I wanted to spend time improving myself, being someone that I was happy with, you know. Like, I'm getting there now, but like, it's taken a long time. But back then, like, I just like looked at myself and like, wow, you're wasting your life. You're doing nothing. Like, all your friends are going to be done school next year. They're going to start finding like actual professions. Like, their careers are going to start, and you're still going to be working part-time jobs or minimum wage jobs until you actually start doing something you like. And it was just like so discouraging for me, and I could not handle it. And she just wasn't being supportive, and it was just really stressful for me. And then I'm like, you know what? I need to do what's best for me. And if you can't be mature enough to like do this, then, you know, I don't think it's gonna work out. And like, sometimes we would have. The reason I broke up with Sheila was because she would get mad at me, and she wouldn't tell me. She wouldn't tell me why she got mad at me. She would just get mad at me. And then she'd think that after getting mad at me, she would be upset with herself because she realized that it was a silly reason. But she still wouldn't tell me why she got mad at me, which made it extremely hard for me to work things out. It's like, I can't help you. You know, like, I don't care if it was a stupid reason. I need to know why you were mad at me. Because if I don't know, then I can't exactly prevent this from happening again. Okay? Because the next time I do some stupid shit like this, like singing the Lego song apparently was a no-no. Everything is awesome. Everything is good with your body. You know? Like, I didn't like, And I told that to Annie. Told that to my most recent girlfriend Annie, and she understood. But sometimes she'd pull the exact same shit at me. She'd get mad, she'd be quiet, she wouldn't say anything. I was just like, why? Why are you doing this? I told you this is exactly the one thing I did not want to happen. And you... And at the same time... Okay, I don't want this video to be me bashing on her, but... She wasn't a bad person. She's just someone who's been through a lot. And I wasn't in a good enough place to be strong enough for the both of us. Had I actually been happy with who I was, I think I could have had more patience to stick by her for her to get to a point where she was happy with herself too. Like, I don't... At any of my breakups, I don't want to blame anyone. If anything, I'd only blame myself. Like, there are things that did go wrong, and sometimes I was the one who was hurt. But I still believe that in many of those cases that it was simply because I wasn't strong enough. And that might be skewed thinking because I have this overbearing feeling that I need to be completely chivalrous and need to take fault for everything. But yeah. But so that was earlier this year when we broke up, in about August or July, I'd like to say. And a few other things happened in between. I don't want to get too into detail because that's really messy, and that's between me and her. But yeah, I mean, she seems okay now. She's with someone else now, so. But it's just been a long relationship time thing shit. I've been through a lot. I don't know where this was started. I don't know where this is heading. But basically, that was my love life and why I got 4 tattoos. I'm still working on the origami. I mean, that's pretty much the biggest story of this vlog. So if you would want to turn off, then go ahead. But I'm going to keep folding cranes because I need to... Okay. So, since we're still on the whole topic of just talking for no goddamn reason. So Rena, if you all remember who that was, which was Sunny's best friend and Sheila's twin sister, if I remember correctly, because I'm still trying not to use the real names. So we watched, we didn't watch, but we never watched it together, but we both really liked Sherlock, the BBC series with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman. And so for Christmas that year, because we were kind of talking that whole shebang, I don't want actually, that sounds really bad. That whole incident happened around Christmas time. So I'm like even though she would stop talking to me, I'm like, you know, I still felt like I should give her a Christmas present. I should stop giving the Christmas present to people who don't really care. So for Christmas, I hand sewed out of felt a Sherlock plushie, I guess, and it actually took me 6 hours because I had to go get the felt. I had to kind of draw it out myself, cut it out, hand sew it again because like you can only hand sew things so well before it starts falling apart. And I had to stuff it, and then I made a coat for it too. And then like if I ever find it, I can upload it, and basically it's just a time-lapse video of me time-lapse video of me making him, and it's kind of cool just to see something get made. That's something that took like 6 hours, but it's really bad because in that I'm kind of like on the ground in the living room, and then I put the laptop, because I keep recording with the laptop for some reason. It's better than the phone because I actually check my phone. And I move the laptop back and forth, and it's like really messy. But you can slowly see on the floor like all the pieces coming together, and then I actually made a stop motion of him getting up, putting on his coat and whatnot. It's actually pretty cute. Yeah, if I ever find that, I'll definitely upload it for you guys to see. It's like a short 10-minute video. And then I have some weird cheesy messages about, it's like, hey, I made this for a girl, but it just didn't work out, and just I don't know, it's just really weird cheesy message. But yeah. So that's kind of why I'm doing this. I've actually already recorded the first 40 or so, and then there's that bit that I did during the first vlog, and then in between I'm still recording it just me but I want to see what it looks like for someone to fold 1,000 cranes. And since it's 1,000 and it takes about 5 minutes for one, so let's say 5 times 1,000, that's 5,000. I don't know why that math took so long. 5,000, so that would be 5,000 minutes worth of footage minimum. Also because I'm talking, and then the vlogs, it's gonna be really weird when someone actually watches this, because they're gonna see this part but sped up. I'll just randomly be looking for looking at the camera and stuff, but just it's probably let's say about 6,000, no, maybe not 6,000 minutes, maybe 6,000 minutes worth of footage of that's a lot of me just folding crane after crane after crane after crane, and then just it'd also be cool if I actually had a video camera on the stash and watch it just pile up. Actually, I just start throwing them into a box, and then we can just watch it pile up slowly, after I'm done all that 1,000, of course. My biggest problem right now is I have no idea where to keep them, because 1,000 cranes is a lot, and these aren't big cranes, but they're not exactly that small. I have a box now that has almost 100, I think. Let's see, I did 12, 12, 12, that's 36, and then I did another 40, which is 60, 76. So I think I have about 80 in there. I'm not sure, I think just 76 if I remember the packaging correctly. Because for some reason, every single damn package, even though they all cost the same, some come with more, some come with less. I should have looked. I should have known. Some of them is just sticker paper. But yeah, so that's why I'm doing this. It'd just be fun to see. Anytime I make something for someone, I always want to see my creative process. I want to see what I did when. And I don't know why. It's just a weird quirk of mine. So I have about probably 16 left, but here are today's earnings, I guess. Oh, I dropped one. Oh my. Okay, I'm okay. I make the weirder sounds, especially when I'm alone. So, this is how much we have right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 32 in this pack, so there's about 16 left over there. And we have this. This is gonna fit about 150, 200 at most. So we're gonna have to find bigger boxes or just more boxes, and then I'm just gonna not give it to anyone because I don't think anyone actually wants to physically keep 1,000 cranes. But I mean, if it grants a wish, then I don't think anyone would mind keeping it. So, get a good look at me. My Chemical Romance. So I'm gonna keep stalling for the next 40 seconds so we can hit a perfect 1 hour and 30. And basically, if you sat through this entire thing, what are you doing with your life? Why are you watching someone fold cranes? if you're just listening to this like a podcast, even though podcasts usually have more than one person talking, I mean, I could talk to myself and you could pretend like it's more than one person talking. Yeah, thanks for listening, I guess. I mean, if this is something that interests you, I don't know. If you want to ask a question, I'd like to actually have a topic to talk about, because this is usually just me ranting, but if you have a question to ask me and you want me to talk about next video, then great. If not, who cares? Right, minute 30 now.